How's everybody doing? This is Yanko Maceda, founder of Tabanero Cigars, where we believe in the enjoyment of craftsmanship that allows you to stop time, reflect on life, and plan the future ahead. Wow, what a Sunday, what a beautiful day right here in Tampa, Florida. I don't know how's the rest of the world, but in here is amazing, amazing. It's 70 degrees. It's cold for Floridians. I know people up north, they will say that's a piece of cake, but for us, being the first day, it's cold. What a beautiful day, what a beautiful day. And this is my second cigar. This is my second cigar. I already had a Lancero. Oh my God, what an amazing Lancero. But now I'm gonna have a Big Daddy Connecticut. So hit like, hit like, hit like, hit like, so we can share, with everybody else. Hit like, because today we're going to be talking about if a fresh cigar, it's better. How good are fresh cigars? Being in a historic district, being in a tourist area, we always get the question, I want the fresh cigars. I want a fresh cigar. So let's talk about fresh cigars today. And we're going to be doing some sharing in here. Ed, can you help me out? Sharing in there with all the groups on the bottom. We just be selecting the groups and start hitting share, one by one. Let's share with everybody. Let's hit like so we can promote this video, and let's talk about how good is a fresh cigar. Many people come in and they say, I want the fresh cigars, the one from the table. Some other people, they know a little bit about the lifestyle. When they say fresh cigar, they're asking for something that hasn't been stale, that hasn't been in the humidor for too long, and has lost a lot of the flavor. I understand that term. When someone says, how aged are these cigars? Now that's the right question. When someone is saying how aged the cigars are. We experience that cigars change completely when they achieve 60 days, and in the medium bodies to full body, they get even better when they get to 90 days. I have a good friend, he believes that after 90 days, the cigar starts losing some of the flavors and the strength. I agree with him when it comes to cigars that the filler, it wasn't as good tobacco, and definitely will lose some of the flavors with more aging. But when you construct really good cigars, the fermentation, it was done right from the beginning, believe me, the more they age in the right humidity, the right temperature, the better they get. Don't get confused. Someone told me many years ago, a good fermented cigar is that cigar, and especially for someone that is getting new into this lifestyle, is that cigar that you smoke the cigar 6 p.m., 9 p.m., and the next morning when you wake up, there's no aftertaste. That is a well-fermented cigar. Now, you hear people in your journey saying, well, you know, I tried cigars one time, but I don't know, next day my mouth tastes like an ashtray. Well, I'm not gonna say that if you ever smoke cigars, never smoke cigars, and you have your first cigars, definitely the next day your palate can taste a little bit different what it's used to, but not so bad. If the next day after you have your first cigars, your mouth really tastes really bad like ashtray, that was a cheap cigar. That was a cigar that probably looked good, had an oily wrapper, but it was a cheap cigar inside. And we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into oily wrappers. We're gonna get into soft cigars. I see a lot of people holding a cigar and squishing the cigar to see if they're soft. They're looking for a good draw. So we're gonna get into that, but let's celebrate. I would say not last Thursday, 2 weeks ago, 2 Thursdays ago, we got our 160,000 cigar from Raffles, from Pages Raffle Tabacalera. We got our 160,000 cigars, plus we already have some in our container, or reefer containers. So that put us almost like 300,000 cigars on one reefer container. I don't know if you guys can see it in there, how beautiful they're organized, how the climate in there is amazing. We keep it 70-70 because when you lock those reefer containers, that they got 4 inches of insulation all around, floor, roof, doors, everything. When you close that bad boy, that humidity unit and AC, they do miracles. Cigars get better and better. I remember when we did the torpedo, I had it with only a month. Torpedo is a medium to full. And I said, you know what, it's good. People try and people liked it. And I said, I think it's too much for me, too much flavor. There was a lot going on, a lot pretty savory. I had a torpedo this week from January. Wow. We're talking about what a Cuban cigar used to be many years ago. So well balanced from the beginning. There was a nice aroma, roasted nut from the condega, the jalapa, the sweetness of the jalapa, and good strength. I was a medium to full. You will only spot that medium to full when you do the retro health. You can pick up that umetepe. That umetepe is sweet, but it has a lot of strength similar to Esteli. So I said, wow, how much this torpedo changed from the first time I had it. And that is aging. I always hear people saying, well, you know, when you buy Cuban cigars, if you really want to get the best of it, you need to age them for at least a year. Well, any good cigar that has the right tobaccos, if you're able to hold it for a year, it's going to be amazing. That's what we are trying to accomplish here. That's why I don't find myself on a rush or trying to move things fast. I don't want to move my cigar fast. I feel some pain when I see cigars going out too fast because I want my cigars to age as long as I can here. What we are aiming for is producing cigars and try to hold it in our humidors, in our reefers for at least 6 months and hopefully get to a year. That is what I really admire from one of my biggest mentors, Padron. Padron has done it since the beginning and he's been really successful because he believes in aging. So we're celebrating those 160,000 cigars. There's no secret. Big companies are hoarding as much tobacco as they can. They're hoarding as much tobacco as they can. And mid-size guys, Tabacalera, Pages Raffle, smaller size factories, they having a really hard time acquiring tobacco because the big boys are hoarding as much tobacco as they can because of the high demand. There is a huge demand for true handmade cigars. Let me light up this Big Daddy Connecticut, U.S. Connecticut wrapper. It's solid. It has the right weight, and it's solid. In the footer, the middle, the cap, it's solid. I'm not afraid of draw because I know Raymond Pages takes pride on what he does. He understands how serious we are about this lifestyle. So he takes things seriously. He's obsessed with what he does. Raymond, hermano, no sé si estás mirando, pero te mando muchos saludos. Yo estoy compartiendo la obsesión que tenemos tú y yo por hacer cada vez mejor y mejor estos puros. So let's go ahead and light up. Let's wet the cap first. A beautiful cap. Well wrapped cigar. You can see, you can smell that this Connecticut wrapper, this U.S. Connecticut wrapper, is being fermented correctly. You don't Pásamelo aquí, Ed, para ver los comentarios. Gracias. You can smell on a Connecticut wrapper. When a Connecticut wrapper smells really, really like the barnyard, like when it's still in the barn, I know it's a really nice aroma, but it's still too fresh. It's still too fresh. When you smell the Connecticut and you smell a sweeter wrapper, not peppery because it's grown under shade, you can pick up a little bit of sweetness, but it's really gentle. That means that wrapper is being fermented. When you smell the Connecticut, when the cigar is just finished, it smells like that fresh barnyard, but you're not going to get the best aroma, taste, flavor from that Connecticut. So this cigar has been aged already for 2 months, 60 days, and it's a mild cigar. It's a mild cigar. Scott, my good friend, how are you? Noel Delvin, how are you, my friend? Cuco, hermano, te extrañamos. Raymond, hermano, esas energías tuyas son increíbles. Nos tienes a todos aquí a millón. Gracias, Raymond Pages. Iris, gracias por todo el apoyo. Usted está ahí siempre presente y el hombre está haciendo un trabajo fenomenal. Gracias. Howard, thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in. Giovanni Triana, un placer, hermano, un placer desde Perú, creo que estás, o Ecuador. Gracias por tuning in. Larry, how are you, my friend? Mark, thank you. Kevin, thank you. And Junk Drummer Barch, thank you for tuning in. We are Tabanero Cigars, and we are talking about today how good are fresh cigars. When people say the term, I would like a fresh cigar. We also celebrating 160,000 cigars that just arrived from Tabacalera Pages Raffle. My good friend, my industry brother, Raymond Pages, does an excellent job manufacturing cigars in Estelí, Nicaragua. And he has took our blends, the blends that were designed right here in Ybor City, he has took those blends to another level. Guys, on the new cigars, coming and they just arrived on this batch. Let me be careful because I'm using my Le Finesse Lamise. That's a knife cutter to cut cigars, and it's so sharp that if you just don't pay attention, you will cut the tip of your finger. Beautiful. You see, no effort, and I'm not saying that it's empty. It's well packed. It has that perfect slow draw. I see people sometimes walking on the sidewalk, and I see them with all their cigars, and you can see their mouth going. I go, oh, it looks like that company's missing a draw master. That draw master is that little machine right here on my right. That little machine makes miracles. If you run your entire production through that machine, you will have perfect cigars. Again, that machine doesn't do anything to the cigar. All it does is sucks air and it reads the inches of water to see where the draw of a cigar is. And you should be always around 40. A little bit higher, a little bit lower, but as close as you get to 40. We are really excited because we hit 10Ks on Instagram. Thanks to good work of my guru, my social media guru, Zach Nicholas, and also we have some support from Nicaragua. I can't wait for us to establish ourselves in Nicaragua so we can start our own agency with Zach Nicholas, our own agency down there in Nicaragua. That way he can fly with me, create a lot of content. No estás equivocado, hermano. Este puro tiene una construcción, pero una construcción y un tiro excelente. Esa capa está bien fermentada, tiene su aroma dulce, pero no tiene ese olor a casa de tabaco, como que todavía está muy fresca. No hay nada de amargor ni en el humo. Y ahora cuando yo empiece a fumar ese puro, estoy seguro que va a ser limpio. Big Daddy Connecticut. This is my new favorite. I've been smoking my favorites for a long time. Robustos, Toros, De Niros. And you know how human beings are. The more they achieve, they go, well, if I was able to get here, I want to go higher. And I'm always saying, well, how I'm gonna get my palate surprised with something new? This guy, the Big Daddy Connecticut. It's a mild cigar for someone big, strong. I would say mild to medium for someone like me, an average size. But what a rush or different sweet flavors. Almond, that umetepe, the strength of the umetepe, that jalapa, the aroma of the condega. And I have to accept it. It's not all the time that it's possible, but today is U.S. Connecticut wrapper. I would say the best. Raymond, hermano, el tiro, si es un tiro muy suave en un tabaco tan grueso, este tabaco se pusiera medio amarguito al principio. Si es un tiro apretado, tú sabes que es un tiro que este tabaco tiene el tiro perfecto, porque el tabaco llega a una temperatura cuando yo halo que me da ese olorcito así a pan con mantequilla bien tostado. Dios mío santo. Eres un monstruo. Dale felicitaciones a ese muchacho de la máquina de tiro porque está haciendo un trabajo muy bueno. Wow. It's an intimidating cigar for me because it's a 60 gauge by 6 inches. 6.5. Yeah, 6.5. It's an intimidating cigar. That's why we even did a shirt for the cigar. It says 6 inches of pure pleasure, Tabanero Big Daddy. Now it's Maceda Big Daddy. But this, the mild one, oh boy. And again, I'm having this cigar after I had a medium body Lancero. But it's amazing. David Capote, mi brother, ¿cómo estás? Llevo como 3 días pensando en ti, David, hermano. We got it hooked up, bro. I miss you, bro. I hope everything is going well with you. Your brother was here in the shop last week, Jorge. He looks sharp. He was celebrating his retirement. He was talking proudly about his retirement, that he's just home having breakfast, not doing anything. I said, well, don't stay there for too long. You're a pretty busy man. If you stay there for too long, you're not exercising the brain, things can go weird. He said, no, you're right. I'm just going to take a break and get back. There's no retirement for entrepreneurs. God will retire us. When God believes that we can go no more, He will retire us. That's not up to us. No, definitivamente, Raymond. Es un tabaco medium con mucho sabor, bien complejo. Tiene una complejidad. It's really complex. It's really complex because even though it's a mild cigar, we're not just going to go, okay, go ahead and put some jalapa. Just put jalapa and a little bit of condega. This is really complex. This has some rare tobacco that we can undisclose. It has jalapa, umetepe, condega. All our cigars have condega because I love the aroma of condega. When I'm always say, since I was a kid, I will go into the kitchen. Grandma and mom was cooking, and the first thing that would wake up my palate, it was a smell. So when I discovered condega, when I discovered the aroma of condega, I said, Raymond, we need to find a way that all cigars have condega. And Raymond has done an excellent job. Raymond, yo lo digo siempre, que cuando yo entraba a la cocina y sentía la cocina de la abuela o de la mamá, lo primero que me cogía era la nariz. Y el día que tú me enseñaste, cuando yo aprendí allá en Nicaragua qué cosa era condega, yo te dije, Raymond, yo quiero condega en todos mis puros. Y has hecho tremendo trabajo. Te lo agradezco de corazón. Leo Alvarez, thank you, Leo. Thank you for watching. Michael, long time no see you. Michael, welcome back. You're convinced, my friend, you got to order this Big Daddy's, Big Daddy Connecticut. I don't think it's just a morning cigar. It's a cigar that you can do midday. You can do it any time of the day. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. So going back to a fresher cigar than something that has been aged. I went and bought some cigars last week from a producer. I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to mention who it is. But someone told me, look, go to this shop, buy these cigars, and I want to hear your opinion. I said, okay, fine. I went, bought the cigars. And the cigars were pretty, it had a beautiful wrapper, pretty oily wrapper. They were made with wood cigar molds, so the shape, it wasn't perfect. That's okay. We got room to improve. The first third on all the cigars, it was pretty empty. It was pretty empty. The cigar didn't have the right weight. But I said, you know what? Anyway, let me go ahead and light up. I went and light up the cigar, and right away, before I light up the cigar, when I cut the cigar and I look into the cigar, there was a tobacco pretty dark. Pretty dark. That's fine. El ligero can be pretty dark. I said, okay, let me go ahead and smell that really dark tobacco. I went like this, and it was really sweet, almost like wine sweet, like melaza. And I can spot right away that they were using betún. They were using betún. Betún is like the thing that you use to shine the shoes. That's the name, betún. But it's a mix of boiling tobacco steams, raw sugar, rum, wine, and people practice that to make okay tobaccos to taste a little bit better, but when they are fresh. If you put those cigars to age, that unnatural flavors, they will get pretty weird. So I said, well, this cigar, this is not a good start. The wrapper is too oily. I have learned with Raymond Pages that when you see tobaccos in a wrapper too oily, means that it's missing a little bit of fermentation. A little bit of fermentation, or they even practice getting a sponge with mineral oil and going through the back wrapper to look really oily. That's really bad practice. For someone that really appreciates this craftsmanship, you don't want anything unnatural on your cigars. So as soon as I light up the cigars, did my first few puffings, missing tobacco, it got too hot, so it got bitter. Also, the wrapper, I can feel that it was under fermented. And so bitter because of the under fermentation, because of the space. And for the fourth puff that you do with that tobacco that it was fermented with unnatural things, you start feeling weird things in your mouth, lingerings in your mouth, and you know it's not natural from a true cigar. But it was a really fresh cigar. The store told me that they can keep it in the shelf. They go and go and go. Those are the cigars that the next day when you wake up, your palate is not completely clean. But some people decide they want to have those fresh cigars. I went and did the notes, sent it to the person that it was asking me for my notes. And he said, and of course, I give my notes to anybody neutral. I respect everybody in this industry. Probably that cigar was done that way because the customer was only willing to pay for that quality of cigars. But I told the person, this for me is a bundle cigar with a nice wrapper and a strong filler. but it's still a bundle of cigars. And the response I got was, the response I got from the person who told me to try the cigars was, well, you know, I'll make sure to talk to him and tell him to bring you, when he comes into the country, his premium cigars. I said, well, I was under the impression that I was going there to buy his premium cigars, not his bundle cigars. Boy, retro hell on such a big cigar for me, such a big cigar like that, I can feel it. But the retro hell in here, even that it's such a big cigar, it's like hot sauce. You bite the food and everything start rushing in your mouth, but it's pleasant. It's not hot sauce that, because umetepe in this cigar has a lot of strengths, but it's really sweet tobacco. Well blended, well fermented, and really complex. Don't underestimate that Connecticut wrapper thinking that it's going to be a bore cigar from beginning to the end. It is amazing. It is amazing. Of course, I am the founder of the brand, and I can say all my cigars are amazing. No doubt, I compare with many other companies, and yes, our cigars are amazing. But every time we hit something monumental, I make emphasis, like the Toro Nero. The Toro Nero, amazing. Torpedo Sobrino, amazing. Robusto Connecticut, wow. Toro Connecticut, wow. The other stuff also good, but not as complex as those that I'm mentioning. And this guy is really complex, being a mild cigar. Mild cigar for someone a bigger size. It wasn't really meant for average size people. I did a mild cigar for bigger people, stronger people, taller people, like my good friend Keith. I have to be honest with you that Keith Pelaez has been such an inspiration for me with big cigars, that even that I did his Big Daddy, I did the Big Daddy based on his notes, and I blew his mind. Keith Pelaez, thank you, brother, thank you. I said, Keith, let's say you have another friend that is big, tall like you. You're not going to give him one of their Big Daddies because it's full throttle. I bet you're going to want to give him something more mild, and that's why I did this cigars. But I wasn't really intended to be such a complex cigar. I guess Raymond said, no, we don't do average cigars. Let's do something that a taller person, Keith, will go crazy with a cigar. And we did. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So guys, when you have a chance, go online and try, pick it up. If all I said, it was too hyping, please write it on the notes. Send me an email. Yanko, I think you were hyping too much. It has never happened in the past, but I don't know. Send me a note. And if it's positive notes, negative, positive, whatever, please send it back to me. I have friends that have sit down with me and say, hey, Yanko, I'm going to be honest with you. This cigar is like this, like that. And I go, thank you. And we work. But this is a winner. This is a winner. So oily wrappers, beautiful wrappers, well fermented. It will give you, all right, my man. How's everything? How's the kid? Good? Awesome.
Have a good day, my friend. Take care.
So don't blind yourself. Don't blind yourself. You get what you pay for. I keep saying that. If you want to lower your standards and smoke your cigars beginning of the day, drink, eat, it's probably the next day you're not going to have much of an aftertaste. If you are someone that your palate is pretty chat because of many years you've been smoking cigars, you can tolerate cigars that for other people that are getting into the lifestyle, it will be too much. So don't blind yourself. If you're getting into the lifestyle, if you're new, you're gonna get what you paid for. You're gonna get what you paid for. If I would do it again, if I would get into this lifestyle in my beginnings, knowing my palates, know how much I love good food, I wouldn't pay for a cigar less than $12. I wouldn't pay for a cigar less than $12. I will put my range that anything that I'm gonna smoke is gonna be 12 and up. That doesn't mean that all the cigars are gonna be good, but $12 and up, there will be a lot more probabilities that you're gonna hit a winner. Because when someone puts a cigar $12 and up,
No, we do a live feed.
even $10 and up, they're making sure they're putting good tobacco to back up that price. That is only if you are that kind of person, that simple man, that it gets satisfied with only the best. If you believe you are that type of person, take my advice. December 16, we're going to have our next cigar class. December 16, we're going to have our next cigar class. Please, your Christmas shoppings, do it now. You want to order cigars for Christmas? Do it now. They'll be in perfect condition for Christmas. Do it now because shipping is getting really annoying. It's getting pretty crazy. Don't be calling in here 2-3 days before saying overnight, let me pay overnight, because it's not going to happen. Even if you want to pay the dollars and pay overnight, they're not going to get there on time. So Christmas shoppings, you better start doing it now. When you receive the cigars, the box, take them out of the box and put it in a humid area. Put it in your kitchen, put it in your bathroom, and they will be amazingly good for Christmas. But do your Christmas shopping now. Do it now so you'll be on time for Christmas. On the new cigars, Big Daddy Connecticut, Lancero. You guys gonna see Lancero. Oh my God, that Lancero is something else. Belicoso. We're gonna try a Belicoso, see how that goes. It's a really small cigar. It's a complicated cigar because it has two tips. It's a size that people compare with a short story from Arturo Fuentes. It's a complicated cigar. The new Big Daddy is something out of this world. The new Big Daddy, we tweak it again. Keith Pelay tried many times and he said, man, you put him out of the park. You took him out of the park. And the new Big Daddy, new Big Torpedo Connecticut, right here, the same alley of the Big Daddy. If you're not a torpedo guy, Big Daddy. No doubt that when you have an even cap, and you cut, every time you puff, you get a lot more flavor than a torpedo. So it's up to you guys if you want to do torpedo or Big Daddy. Big Daddy, definitely, I enjoy more. If I'm going to do it in the morning, I will do a torpedo because I can manage how much the smoke is going to be coming out. And last but not least, Robusto Candela. I don't know if you saw it on the video when we were showing the cigars. Robusto Candela arrived. It's beautiful. It's the same blend of the Robusto Connecticut with a Candela wrapper. Wow! If you like our Candelas, wait until you try this one. Candela, Candela, Candela.
Thank you.
And I think we're already over, so I'll be pulling out pretty soon. And we keep working on the autonomous lounge. It's a crazy idea, but the more I listen to Elon Musk, the more he gets me motivated to change this industry, the more I'm going forward. I touch bases with another 2 companies for the autonomous checkout. And we're getting there. We're going to be designing some lounges that you can act like you're at home because there's going to be rules. But you will feel like you're at home because you'll be able to grab everything grab everything, and it's already on your phone. Every time you grab something, the algorithms, the system is already put it on your tab, on your phone. You grab a drink, you grab a cigar, you grab a box, you put it back, you grab a t-shirt, it will be on your tab. We're working on that because we are pretty soon opening another shop. And again, for dreamers like me, when you say pretty soon, it can be on January, it can be in 5 years, but you have to feel like it's already happening, and that's how you attract things to your life, feeling like it's already happening. So pretty soon we're opening the next lounge, and it's going to be an autonomous lounge. There's going to be an ambassador. There's going to be someone in the shop to explain the product, to explain how the system works, but you don't have to wait in line to pay for anything. As soon as you put them in the bag, it's already on your tab. As soon as you serve your beer, you go sit down, it's already on your tab. It's going to be amazing. I don't want to blame it on COVID-19. I just want to say that's where the future is going, and we're not going to stay behind. We're not going to stay behind. Guys, thank you very much. There's no secrets. Don't get confused. The only reason God sent us here to this beautiful earth, it was to serve others. Don't blind yourself. Whatever you're doing here in earth is to serve others. If you really reflect on the matter, whatever you're doing in your office or whatever you work, you're serving others. And we try to do it with the best of us, which is Maceda brand, Tabanero brand. Again, don't forget that we believe in the enjoyment of craftsmanship that allows you to stop time, reflect on life, and plan the future ahead. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys next Sunday.